quick ad. With Time Twist, you get exciting, bizarre, and significant historical events delivered to your phone every single day. Enjoying this episode? There's so much more in the app. You'll find the link in the show notes. Let's get started.
Welcome to your personalized deep dive. This is where we take one specific topic and we'll really explore it just for you.
And today, that topic is a date, May 13th.
Exactly. May 13th. Now, it might just sound like any other day on the calendar, but we've gathered some really diverse sources that show it's, well, anything but ordinary.
We have, and our goal, our mission, if you like, is to pull out the most compelling, the most insightful stories that all happened on this single day across different years.
And you'll see some surprising connections, I think.
That's what's so interesting about focusing on just one date, May 13th. It kind of compresses history, doesn't it? You get these incredible juxtapositions.
Right. Events, centuries apart, worlds apart, but they tell us something unique about, human effort and how time flows.
Exactly. Gives you a real perspective.
Okay, so let's jump right in. First section. Great leaps and giant steps. Picture this. 1909.
The first Giro d'Italia.
Yes. I mean, think about the sheer physical effort back then. The absolute pioneering spirit. Luigi Ganna wins it.
It's amazing. And that one race started this huge tradition, still pushing endurance limits over a century later.
It wasn't just a bike race, was it? It felt like something bigger.
Well, it tapped into the times. You had rapid industrialization, this growing fascination with what individuals could achieve with technology. It sort of mirrored a societal shift, didn't it? A sense of national identity growing and this new focus on pushing physical boundaries. It really caught the public's imagination.
Okay, sticking with things that stick around. Let's jump to 1958. Different kind of leap.
Velcro.
Swiss engineer, Georges de Mestral. He's out walking his dog, gets covered in burrs.
Annoying things.
Yet instead of just brushing them off annoyed, he actually looks at them closely.
Curiosity.
Exactly. And that simple observation, that moment, leads to Velcro. Trademarked, and still, it's everywhere. Shoes, jackets.
Spacesuits even. It's wild.
It really is. Such a common annoyance sparking this, universal solution. It makes you wonder where truly impactful ideas actually come from, doesn't it?
It does. It says a lot about innovation. Often it's not these huge planned projects.
Right.
It's more about sharp observation, a curious mind looking at everyday problems, and then that crucial step of translating it into something practical.
Okay, staying in 1958, but shifting gears quite dramatically.
Nixon in Venezuela.
Yeah. Vice President Nixon facing really angry crowds in Caracas. The Cold War background is, well, it's impossible to ignore.
Definitely not a friendly state visit, that one.
Not at all.
And that incident, it really highlights the volatility of the Cold War, especially in Latin America. There was a lot of anti-American feeling just under the surface. Complex reasons, political, economic. Nixon's rough reception just underscores how difficult diplomacy was then, High stakes, deep ideological divides, historical baggage. It's all there.
Okay, let's rewind a bit now. Back to 1940. Dark times.
Churchill. Blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
That speech, it still resonates so powerfully, doesn't it? And he wasn't offering easy answers or comfort. It was a really stark call to action.
I think its power comes from that brutal honesty, and the sheer determination behind it.
Yeah.
Britain was in incredible danger, massive uncertainty. He didn't sugarcoat it. He laid out the immense challenge ahead.
Almost brutally, like you said.
Exactly. And by doing that, by being so clear and resolute, he somehow managed to galvanize people. That realism plus his incredible way with words, it forged this sense of unity and resolve, absolutely vital at that moment. Why do you think that specific phrase stuck? Blood, toil, tears, and sweat.
It's just so raw, isn't it? Uncompromising. Okay, let's pivot now. Sparks of tragedy and triumph. May 13th, 2000, in Schiede, Netherlands.
Oh, the fireworks depot explosion, just
truly devastating. The scale of the loss, lives lost, so many injured. It's heartbreaking to think about.
Awful.
But tragically, it did force a change. It led directly to much stricter safety laws for fireworks across Europe.
It's a grim reminder, isn't it, that sometimes progress, necessary change, comes at an incredibly high price. It highlights that painful way societies sometimes learn and adapt. These disasters can become, unfortunately, catalysts for systemic change. Those tighter regulations were a direct consequence, trying to prevent anything like it happening again.
Then, moving back just a couple of years, 1998, Jakarta.
The riots, targeting the Chinese-Indonesian community.
A really dark, violent chapter. And it played a significant part, in the end of Suharto's long rule.
Decades of authoritarian rule.
Exactly. And it helped pave the way towards Indonesia's democratic transition. It shows how deep social unrest, even amidst terrible suffering, can become this powerful force for political change.
Precisely. Those riots weren't out of nowhere. They were really the boiling point for years of simmering social, economic, political frustrations.
Right.
And their impact on the political scene just underlines how interconnected all those things are. It's a stark example of how marginalized groups can become the focus of wider upheaval and how complex the road to democracy can be.
Then, 1981, the world watching, St. Peter's Square.
The assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II.
Yeah. I mean, his survival itself was remarkable, almost miraculous, people said.
It really seemed that way.
But maybe even more striking afterwards was his very public act of forgiving his attacker, Mehmet Ali Aska.
Yes, visiting him in prison.
It says so much about, well, the human capacity for compassion, even after something so violent. What do you find so compelling about that forgiveness?
Well, it's that intersection, isn't it? You have global politics, the Pope as this major figure on the world stage, and then this incredibly personal human act of forgiveness.
Right.
The attempt itself had huge geopolitical ripples, potential implications, but the Pope's response kind of transcended all that. It sent this powerful, unexpected message of reconciliation that resonated far beyond just the event itself.
Okay, let's shake the mood a bit. Songs that changed the stage. Eurovision.
Eurovision. Always interesting.
1995. Secret Garden wins for Norway with Nocturne.
And the thing is, it was mostly instrumental.
Right, in Eurovision.
Yeah.
Known for its flamboyance and big vocals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That must have really stood out like a sore thumb in a good way. It definitely went against the grain. I think Nocturne's win showed that even in a contest famous for spectacle, sometimes pure musicality, atmosphere can connect really deeply with a massive audience.
Maybe it signaled a shift, yeah. What people wanted.
Possibly. Or just a reminder that quality can cut through.
And then let's fast forward to 2017. Salvador Sobral for Portugal.
Amar Pelos Dwa. Oh, that was beautiful.
So understated, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Emotionally raw. Well, again, really minimal staging, just him and the song. Pure sincerity.
Yeah.
It really makes you think about what actually connects with people, doesn't it? Beyond the glitter cannons.
Sobral's win really hammered that home. That authenticity, genuine emotional depth, it can be incredibly powerful, even on a stage as, well, theatrical as Eurovision.
Yeah.
It was like a reminder sometimes stripping away all the extras and just focusing on the core emotion, the music itself. That's what has the biggest impact.
Okay, switching gears again. A game of numbers and legacy. 2018.
Manchester City. The Centurions.
100 points in the Premier League. I mean,
Yeah.
That's not just winning, that's complete dominance.
Yeah.
Setting a totally new benchmark.
Pep Guardiola's team, they were relentless.
What made that season so exceptional? Was it just the points?
Well, the points record was staggering, obviously. But it wasn't just that, it was the way they played, their style.
Yeah, the football was incredible.
The consistency week after week, the level of control they had in matches was almost unheard of. It really left a massive mark on English football. Definitely raised the bar for what teams aspire to.
And staying in this sort of tech legacy space, 2015, launch of Discord.
Discord. Started out mainly for gamers, didn't it?
Yeah, a communication tool for people playing games together. But look at it now. It's exploded into this huge global platform.
Absolutely. All kinds of communities, discussions, not just gaming anymore.
It's amazing how fast it became so central to online life for so many different groups.
Its evolution is fascinating.
Right.
From that niche gaming tool to this massive platform for, well, almost any interest group, it really underlines how vital these digital spaces have become for connection and community building now.
And it's pretty user-friendly, too, which probably helped.
No doubt. That played a big part in its spread.
Okay, let's pause now and celebrate some remarkable lives. Stars born, legends remembered. May 13th gave us Stevie Wonder, 1950.
Phenomenal talent. Just incredible.
Blind pretty much from birth, yet his music, I mean, it's brought so much light and joy. 25 Grammys is just mind-boggling.
His life, his career, it's such a powerful example of human creativity overcoming huge challenges. His impact on music is just immense, spans genres, inspires generations.
Truly. And also born on this day, 1914, Joe Louis.
The Brown Bomber.
And much more than just a boxing champion, wasn't he? Especially with that famous rematch against Max Schmeling.
Absolutely. He became this huge symbol of resilience, defiance, especially for Black Americans in a deeply segregated country.
That fight had so much weight beyond the sport.
It really did. In that racially charged time, his victories, particularly against Schmeling representing Nazi Germany, they were incredibly symbolic. A powerful blow against prejudice, a real beacon of hope. He transcended boxing.
And we also mark the birth of Daphne du Maurier.
Master of suspense, psychological thrillers.
Rebecca the Birds. Her stories just create this amazing atmosphere, this lingering sense of unease, of mystery. What makes her writing hold up so well?
She had this unique talent for building atmosphere, didn't she? And for digging into the darker corners of the human mind. Her stories often deal with obsession, paranoia, secrets. That sense of unease she creates, it just keeps pulling readers in. Timeless themes.
Also born May 13th, Harvey Keitel, 1939.
Oh, fantastic actor. Incredibly versatile.
Yeah, from those really gritty crime films like Reservoir Dogs or Taxi Driver.
To something like The Piano. Such emotional depth there.
He just brings this raw, compelling intensity to every role, doesn't he?
He really does. There's a visceral authenticity about his performances. A commanding presence on screen. He often plays those complex, morally gray characters brilliantly. A memorable figure.
And a more contemporary voice, Stephen Colbert, born 1964.
Ah, yes. Sharp wit. Brilliant satire.
He's definitely influenced how a lot of us consume and maybe even think about news and politics today.
For sure. He's had a huge impact on political satire, using humor not just for laughs, but as sharp social commentary, making audiences think more critically, perhaps.
Okay, so while we celebrate these births, we also have to remember some significant farewells. Farewells that echo. May 13th, 1981. We lost Bob Marley.
A true legend. Reggae's prophet, really.
And his message, One Love, it still resonates everywhere, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think his music and that message have such lasting power?
I think his music just crossed all borders, cultural, linguistic. It became this global anthem for peace, for unity, for social justice.
Yeah.
His lyrics spoke about universal struggles, universal hopes, his influence on music, on social awareness. It's still incredibly profound decades later.
And in 1963, Georges Braque passed away.
Maybe not as famous household name as Picasso.
Right. But his partner in crime, essentially, in founding Cubism. Hugely revolutionary.
Absolutely fundamental. His collaboration with Picasso in those early Cubist years completely changed how artists saw and represented the world. It broke everything down.
Fragmented views, multiple viewpoints.
Exactly. It paved the way for so much abstract art that came after. A quiet giant of art history, perhaps.
Finally, let's look at Mountains and Final Frontiers, 1960. The first ascent of Delegiri.
7th highest peak in the world. An incredible achievement.
Just imagine that feat. The endurance, the teamwork, conquering one of Earth's giants, a team of Swiss, Austrians, Nepalese. What does something like that tell us about ourselves?
I think it embodies that core human drive for exploration, doesn't it? That relentless push to overcome what seems impossible.
Yeah.
It's a powerful reminder of our capacity for ambition, for perseverance, for working together against the most awe-inspiring and demanding natural environments.
And then, a different kind of frontier. 2005, the final episode of Star Trek. Enterprise.
End of an era for that specific show.
Yeah, well, that series ended. The Star Trek universe itself, well, it just keeps going, doesn't it? Boldly going, you might say.
Ah, indeed.
It's fascinating how these fictional universes become such a big part of our shared culture. Keep inspiring new stories.
The enduring appeal of Star Trek, I think it's partly that optimistic vision of the future it often presents.
Exploration, progress.
Yeah, and exploring big human questions, celebrating diversity. Even when one series ends, those core ideas keep resonating with audiences, generation after generation.
So there we have it, May 13th. A single date, but look at the range of human experience packed into it.
It's quite something when you lay it all out.
Athletic firsts, artistic breakthroughs, moments of terrible loss, incredible forgiveness, tech leaps, legends born.
It really makes you reconsider the idea of an ordinary day, doesn't it?
Totally.
What's striking is seeing these threads. You have these events, seemingly separate sports, science, politics, art, tragedy across centuries, but they touch on recurring themes.
Like innovation, resilience.
The impact individuals can have, how our world is constantly being shaped and reshaped. You see it all playing out on this one date.
This whole deep dive into May 13th, it kind of leaves you wondering, doesn't it? About all the other dates we just let pass by. What hidden histories, what personal stories, what maybe seemingly small moments that subtly shifted things are embedded in those ordinary days?
That's a great question to ponder, the significance hidden in the everyday.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of May 13th.